Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another Liverpool show, ladies and gentlemen. Our club, you get me, Liverpool Football Club. Scou's not English. That's why we're not watching the England game. The only Scouser who really watches games like this is the Jedi himself, Tom Little. So is that a positive example? No, it's not. Which is why we don't watch the English game. You get me? So yeah, England can hold that. Big up Ireland. Hope Ireland win. Anyway, this show was supposed to be Friday, you guys, but I was a bit busy. I can't lie to you. And look, this is going to be an incredible show. We're going to be talking about Liverpool, top of both Champions League and Premier League groups for yet another week. And there's a lot for us to unpack, a lot for us to discuss. So let me start first by introducing the English version of me. But he says a lot of crazy shit. At least I don't say crazy cancelable shit, you know? I hope it doesn't get us cancelled today because I already have enough enemies to worry about. You get me? But I love him because he wears his emotions on his sleeve. Man, like Jamie is in the building. How you doing, Jamie?
Very much. Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm tired. I watched UFC last night, but yeah, I'm doing good.
Oh, it was Miocic versus who again?
Yeah, John Jones. We did the live watch along for it on Callum's channel last night. Yeah, finished 7:30 this morning. So yeah,
I made the executive decision to choose my sleep, which is a smart decision to make. Joining us next on the channel is the biggest fraud out of this whole group. By far, he's laughing because he knows it's him already. It's obvious. You get me? I'm not gonna say what he called me behind the scenes, you guys. I'm gonna push that to the side. I'm gonna bypass it. You get me? Because I don't believe in cancel culture, but it's normal. He likes Darwin Núñez, so he always misses the target. See, everyone knows already. Everyone knows. I don't even have to say anything anymore. Like, it's just this show. He's a staple of just being the Núñez guy in the show. Man like Endz is in the building. Hi, Endz.
I can't believe you put that tag and these fuckers have believed in it as well, man. I can't believe they just literally lap it up. Nah, big up, man. Appreciate the invite. Should be good having a conversation. Big up to Jamie as well. And the rest of the guys waiting in the wings.
Big up. Who's messaging me? I'm busy, habibi. Joining us next as well, you get me? He's the calming voice amongst all the crazy people. You get me? Because I'm sure someone's going to say we're going to win the quadruple at some point in time in the stream. So sometimes you need that calming effect to bring everyone back to earth, And, I love that about him because sometimes I feel like we get too ahead of ourselves and start talking about winning the next 5 league title. And he's like, guys, calm down. Let's win this one first. Giniesta is in the building. See, the guys know already. Man like G. How you doing, G, brother?
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. Endz, Jamie, Sam.
Up, bro.
I'm good, man. Sunday, you know what I mean? Relax vibes, man. Relax vibes. Should be a good convo, though. Should be a good convo. But, let's just temper it down a little. That's all. But we talk, man. We talk.
I love that, honestly. Joining us next, you get me. Sometimes he's too big for this channel and stuff because I feel like the LA life has affected him negatively. But he always does make time for us peasants not living in Los Angeles. You get me? The mustache man is here. Everyone's favorite. I don't even think he's anyone's favorite anything, to be honest with you. But we love him regardless. Man like Mike is in the building. Hi, Mike. Hi, dude.
Yeah. How you guys doing? It's early here in Los Angeles, but it's all good. Appreciate the kind words of not being anyone's favorite anything, but big up, like the video, subscribe, all the other stuff, and let's chop it up about the pool.
Can't wait, man. Can't wait. And last but not least, the most unprofessional person in this group, by far, you get me? But this guy knows ball, 100%. He knows ball. Except the fact that he likes Diaz, but Diaz has been cooking this season, so he was right, I guess. I get me. So we will see in May if he's right or not. But obviously, you guys know the man, the myth, the legend is returning. Man like JJ is in the building. How you doing, JJ, brother?
I'm good. The unprofessional tag, I'm not sure I like that, I'm on the ground working in it. I'm trying to get the new generation through, so I'm not available to come on and do you know what I mean, impart my knowledge upon the chat and upon yourselves, innit? So yeah, well, big up to everyone. Obviously, yeah, I'm watching the England game at the same time. So looking this way, I'm looking to see what Curtis Jones is doing.
Ireland.
But yeah, and Keller. But yeah, big up to everyone. Shout out to Endz, Ginista,
Big up, man.
Amy, Mike, and Husam, and obviously the chat. Make sure we're smashing the likes as well. Happy to be on.
Yes, exactly what JJ said. Guys, make sure you guys are slapping the like button right now. Every single one of you, 200 people in the building already. We haven't even started yet. So please do hit the like button. Do subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Don't be like David Coote, a fraud. Hit the like button, subscribe. And also go subscribe to all these guys' channels. All of them are in the description. Jamie Phillips' channel in the description. Jamie Football Chats in the description. Go subscribe to G channel as well. Football with Endz. Mike Das as well. He has one FIFA video. Go watch it. And Jerry's channel as well is in the description. Go subscribe to every single one of them. And we're going to start off with, man, like, who shall I start off with this? I want to start with Endz because he's smiling too much. So, talk to me about how, just in general feeling, obviously, since we last spoke, we had the game against Aston Villa.
Yeah.
When we that was the last time we all six of us spoke. Obviously, we beat them. Looking good right now. Just tell me your this is the easiest question of all time. Tom Little, like football related and non-football related. Tom Little by far. But Endz, anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
How do you feel just generally about Liverpool right now?
I think it stayed the same since we last spoke, to be fair, man. I think every time they keep saying we're going to play this team and that team, for some reason, Liverpool just seem to find a way, man. Obviously, I didn't think we played that well against Villa, but we played well enough to go and get the 3 points. Rotating the squad well. I think we're just utilizing who's in the team. Some players still need to up their ideas and up the performances. I feel like some of them haven't yet. But as everyone always tells us, man, we're only 11 games in. So do I expect every player to be hitting the ground running and be up to a high standards in 11 games? Not really. But still, obviously, we have to, critique and have conversations around these players regardless. We just have to keep winning, man. I think we've got next, 5 top games coming up. So we have to try and see if we can find a way or find a solution to win them games. Hopefully, we have a few players back as well. Harvey being one of them. Maybe Jota as well. Maybe, I think Alisson maybe is at the back end as well. This month, Alisson will be back in, which isn't too far to be fair. So, yeah, but Villa, we found a way, man. Listen, Onana is one of my favorite midfielders as well. I thought he might have had a good game against us. Not really. I don't know, man. Liverpool just know what they're doing, bro. Ollie Watkins tried to go up against Ibu, didn't get no change out of him. He knows he can't do it against Robbo. Against
never a penalty, by the way. Never a penalty in a million
dive,
years.
man. It's just, these men like to dive every minute, bro. But only our players get criticised for getting shoved in the back and tripped over and nothing being given. But we understand. We know David Coots was a part of those decisions. And obviously waving away the Mo Salah one was the most criminal offence I've ever seen. Like, how can you take out a player one-on-one with a goalkeeper? And the ref goes, that ain't a foul. That's a coming together. But we later find out the reason why this man is who he is, man. And then obviously the boy himself, Nunes, scored, in a game where we didn't look like scoring that early. He found the net. We have to big him up as well. And then obviously, Mo himself, the king himself, at the end finished the game off. Still think he should have passed it, but who am I? But that's all I've got to take on that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it was comfortable, man. Like I said, it would be comfortable.
Okay, Jamie, talk to me, brother. Since you guys want to do this whole red carpet thing, go ahead, Jamie.
Comfortable win, man. Comfortable win, as I said it would be. It looked like we could score at any time against Villa, really, and we were taking our time, chilling. I like the fact we rest on the ball more now. We rest on the ball a lot more now. We pass it around the back. Villa didn't really press. We took our time. Yeah, it was a comfortable win, man. Comfortable win. Again, it's another team we haven't played because apparently Villa ain't that good. So, yeah, so it's another team we haven't played. The agendas will still go. But the team looks good right now. But I want to just shout out Virgil and Konate as a partnership because they're just different. Man.
Yep.
Virgil's that Rolls Royce of a centre back, and Konate's he's just brute strength, pace, athleticism. His quality on the ball has even got better now as well. His passing,
like a Ford Raptor.
Yeah, he's like everyone tries to go at him because I think Virgil's got this aura about him. So defenders now leave Virgil alone, don't they? And they just go for Konate now. And then Konate's like, yeah, go on, let's try it. Let's give it a go. I mean, was it Martinelli gave up? Watkins gave up. Just
Boniface gave up.
Yeah, you just like it gives you like you go and have a couple of yards in front of me, and I'll just chase you down. There's no problem. Yeah, and this is the most games he's ever played in a row, I believe, for Liverpool as well, in succession. He looks
insane.
Great. He looks great at the moment, but he also looks. I don't know about you guys, but I think he looks leaner this season than he has in previous years as well. So maybe that's helping him. But that partnership at the moment is the reason why we're playing so well. Virgil for me is just he's like a playmaker at centre back as well. He starts so much off for us. You can't press him, you can't get into him. No, it's fantastic. Them two. I don't know what we'd do if we didn't have Virgil and Konate. I think they're the whole basis of the way we play right now, personally.
Okay, G.
Yeah, no.
Someone has an echo, by the way. Someone, I don't know who. But someone's mic is really loud. End's mic loud as hell. Go ahead, G.
Yeah, no, I suppose I agree, man. I think, yeah, the Villa game. Yeah, the Villa game was kind of weird because I don't feel like we played well, but at the same time, I'm like, we didn't play badly, and Villa didn't look too threatening in the game, if that makes sense. But obviously, you know, when the scoreline's 1-0, it's one of those, like anything can happen. All of a sudden now that game just flips on its head. But we managed the game, you know, in the end well. But yeah, in general, man, like Liverpool just, what I like is just, we're just doing what we need to do. Do you get what I mean? So that you can't really, like, there's nothing to complain in regards to that. Yes, some performances I don't really like, and maybe some could be better, but can I complain when you've only lost one game and drawn one game in the whole Premier League? In fact, no, sorry, in every competition that we played in this season, we're top of, you know, every all the competitions. We're through to the next round of the Carabao Cup. I can't remember what round we're in now, but we're through to that next round. Like, Liverpool are just doing their thing, man, and it's good to see as well, because
we're in the quarters, I swear, right? We're in the quarters.
Yeah.
We are.
Is it okay, quarters? Right? Yeah, sorry, yeah, quarters. So, you know what I mean? Like things are just, I don't know, like they're just calm. Like I think that's probably the best way to say it. Like right now, everything's just calm. You know, we're doing our thing. As you said, you guys mentioned about Virgil, about Konate, those two. Obviously, listen, they've been the best centre back pairing, but it's not even just. I don't even look at it like that. If you just take them as individuals, they've probably been two of the top 5-6 best players in the Premier League this season alone. Like if you know, as standalone players. So yeah, man, like everyone's just playing well and they're just doing what they need to do, and the rotation is enough. Well, like I like it. It's not crazy. We're not, you know, it's not like crazy rotation, which I think everybody was thinking about in the summer. You know, they were like, yeah, we need this guy. We need to drop this guy for the. No, he seems to be doing it at the right time, and I feel like that's what's then helping Liverpool, you know, move forward. So yeah, man, honestly, just continue doing what you're doing. I promise you, no one's going to complain. And at this point right now, I don't see Liverpool losing games. Drawing, yes, I can see that happening, but losing games, I just don't really see it at this moment in time.
Hey, draws killed us from Rafa days. That's the
yeah, I know. Draws are worse than defeats at this point for Liverpool.
Sometimes they are. I swear to God, like
no, they are.
From the Benitez days. I still remember, bro. Like it's just so annoying. But
it's annoying.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah. Bob is first of all, he got done dirty by Google Translate. But essentially, this means Tom is a big fraud, which I agree with you. Biggest fraud by far. I'll write for you the actual meaning, you know, in the actual way to write it in the comment section now. So you can copy paste it for the future. But thank you for the super chat. I'm not going to leave Jerry till the end like last week so he doesn't complain. See? Step by step. By 4 weeks from now, he's going to be the first speaker. Talk to me, Jerry. What do you make of Liverpool this season?
No, I think I don't know. This argument that Liverpool don't play well or they haven't played well, I think there's still there's different ways, obviously, to win football matches. And I think the way Liverpool play is so alien to a lot of us. We actually view it as though Liverpool aren't playing well. Liverpool control games with and without the ball so much better than they have done before. That it's almost alien to us. It's almost like I can even hear the commentators when I'm watching the game say, "Oh, but you know, the crowd need Liverpool to be. It needs to be a faster game because the crowd needs to be up for it, and that's how we get our goals." And it's like, no. Like, we need to learn to be patient, and the fact that whatever we're doing is working. When you go and look at that Villa game, that was a game where people thought we'd drop points. You know, irrespective of Villa's form, that's a game where people looked at it and were like, "Whoa, this might be one of the games where we've gone a game too far, we've got points in this game, and then we've got to recover." Do you know what I mean? On the back of the international break, we just went and showed levels. Aston Villa didn't threat. Villa Jean came on, didn't do anything. Bailey was on, didn't do anything. Duran came on, couldn't do anything. Watkins came on, couldn't do anything. Onana struggled. Tillemans didn't do anything. They really didn't do anything. And when you think of how Liverpool, Villa were in that situation, yeah, they didn't play well. I mean, Aston Villa didn't play badly, but Liverpool just controlled them and allowed them to have position in certain areas that didn't affect us. And I think that's still Liverpool playing well. And the fact that you can get a clean sheet on top of that as well, I don't know. Like, for me, that's football for me. It's not about
the clean sheet is the best part. I can't lie.
Yeah, man. You just get a clean sheet and you come out of it and it just looks like a professional performance. I think all season Liverpool have just been professional more than anything. Like, if I look at like teams that have won the title in previous seasons, and you go and look at your Chelsea's under Conte or under Mourinho or Arsenal back in the day or United back in the day, there's so many times that they're just professional. They're just professional, and that's what I'm seeing from Liverpool right now. So yeah, I'm so comfortable. That's nothing really to talk about.
They contain games, don't they? Like, people sometimes say City are a bit boring because they contain games and play it safe almost. And
City are boring though. I can't lie. They
are boring. They are more boring. But when you contain a game like Villa, I thought we've contained them pretty much.
I mean, the thing is, even with the City thing, it just depends on what you're seeing again. Because if you're seeing the nuance of why they're doing what they're doing, then you
resting on the ball. They're resting on the
ball.
But
I don't think City plays slot ball anyway. I think we're a bit different, to be honest.
No, we're very different. We're very, very
different. We are very different because we have moments player that give you entertainment. The only player I can tell for City actually does that is Kevin De Bruyne, who can win you a game in a moment, change the game. Obviously, Rodri is out to the end of the season. Of course, we have to respect him. I'll say something to what Jerry said now in a second, but let's let Mike go first. Talk to me, Mike.
Listen, I hear everyone's points. I agree with some. I disagree with others. I think from open play, yes, 100%. I agree with Jerry. We did not look like we were giving anything. We looked impregnable from open play. From set pieces, however, that's where I started to have an issue. We had two different occasions where Kelleher had to make great saves against what I would consider not even like the best delivery. And that's a problem that I've seen throughout the season. We have conceded dangerous opportunities on set pieces. Now, obviously, you have to ultimately come down to the fact that any team can score a set piece. Preston North End could score a corner against you. Like, these things happen. But that's just been an area of concern of mine, where sometimes we look a little bit vulnerable if the delivery is good. But I think that that's something that we can suit on later down the line. And at the end of the day, our three biggest opportunities came from those set pieces as well. All three of those one-on-ones were direct counterattacks off of corners. I mean, listen, another day, Nunez scores a banger and misses a sitter, but it is what it is. He got a goal. And ultimately, there's the argument to be made that he shouldn't have even been given that opportunity to score that goal, because I forget who it was who took down Salah. Maybe he should have seen a red, but it doesn't
Bailey
matter.
was the type player. I think it was Bailey. No, not Bailey.
It
was a forward. I forgot.
Whoever it was, it doesn't matter because we scored a goal. But from open play, this season, Konate is just like, to me, I think that he's the better defender. But that's only because he has to do more action. I think that what Jamie says is very true. Teams are just not attacking us down that left-hand side of our end as much anymore. So Konate sees a lot more action. But the midfield is so good at covering space that we sort of just allow teams to hold the ball on the wing and either dribble into Konate or shuffle it back and try to reset, essentially. It was super refreshing to not see Szoboszlai on the pitch for the majority of the game. I think Curtis Jones was fantastic. And also, ultimately, it doesn't really matter what I think about this game because we got all 3 points. We won 2-0. And to me, I don't even feel like we're playing that good offensively. Like, I think that defensively, we're fantastic. I think that we're impregnable. I think that the only way you have a chance to get at us is from a set piece, which is what you want out of a defense. But going forward, I have a few issues. Soboslai being one of those. But at the same time, maybe that's tactical from Slot. Maybe it's just we're not going to be super duper risky at certain times and sort of just allow the game to kind of play itself out and take out the energy of the other side. But yeah, all of my issues with this team are offensive going forward. And ultimately, we're going to grow into that. We're going to get better. Once Harvey Elliott comes back, I think that he's going to be a huge addition. Once Chiesa comes back and he can give Mohamed Salah some rest, I think that's also going to be a huge addition. And if Darwin Núñez could try to find some consistent scoring form, or if Jota comes back, I think that'll also help. So, it's really early in the season, 11 games through. We're top of the league by 5 points, and I don't even think that we're playing good football, or at least I don't think that we're playing the best football that we're capable of playing, and yet we have this many clean sheets. So nothing but positives.
Okay. Let me dampen the mood a little bit. Big up to my guy Ed, who says, can we ban this idiot Ray? Please play his clip. Which clip? I don't know which clip you're talking about.
By the way, can I just say, the two girls below us are looking 16 out of 10s today, both of them.
Sorry, guys. I misclicked. My bad. Big up to you, Ed. Thank you for the super chat. Look, I'll say this on the Aston Villa game. I think we were dominant in that game. I wasn't worried at any point in time that we're gonna lose, except when we were 1-0 up, and I was. Look, I'm not gonna make a pylon on the guy because he scored, but it's true. It's season 3. We can't be saying the same shit that we said in season 1. We need the guy to be more clinical in front of goal. That's just the reality. Fuck all the agendas. I want Liverpool to win the title this season. I've already taken back a lot of what I said about a lot of the players. Curtis Jones has been by far the guy that's proven me the most strong, because this guy, if I'm starting my team against Madrid, against Man City, first person I'm putting in the midfield is Curtis Jones. Yes, I said it. First person I'm putting in the midfield is Curtis Jones. And I'm always willing to change my opinions on players. I'm always willing to give players chances. And the thing that Mike said is the thing that pisses me off the most is actually the goal that he scored was the most difficult finish. By far, out of all the chances he had, it was the most difficult finish. And I just want him to have that consistency so we can rely on him, which is why right now, if given the chance, do you start Jota against Man City or Real Madrid or Núñez? Personally, I'd go with Jota, just because I know if there is that only 1 chance, 2 chance, he's going to be more clinical with it. Has Jota been as clinical as he's been in previous seasons? No, but he still is more clinical than Núñez, in my opinion. However, Núñez has improved overall. His overall game is better right now because we don't create as many chances as we did in the Klopp system. But regardless, I do expect him to hit the back of the net. And the one that kind of irritates me the most, where the one was where he was kind of running through on goal, the 1-on-1. And it seems like Núñez is trying to score like goal of the season contender every time. Habibi, place it right, place it left. It's a goal. It's 2-0. It's game, set, and match. It's game over already. So look, I love the fact a lot of the players are improving. Some players I still believe looked better in the Klopp system, in my opinion. I'm not going to change my opinion on that. Some players did look better in the Klopp system because it suits the more maybe offensive thinking players, if you would like. The one small worry for me is McAllister's fatigue, which, once again, we're all in agreement. We need to sign someone in January. Let's not sit up here and fight who. I don't give a shit. Whoever you want to sign, bring him in just so we can do a little bit of rotation, because we can't be talking about fatigue and tiredness in November. Like, that's just real football talk, genuinely. We can't be saying that shit in November. And there's a reason for that. Scaloni is in love with McAllister. Before he sleeps, he look at the McAllister poster in his room. He's going to start him every Argentina game. So we just have to keep that in mind, which is why we need a little bit of rest, a little bit of rotation to give players chances, etc., etc., etc. And I think there is a lot of players that are, kind of cooking when given the opportunity, like a Gravenberch. Agree completely with Mike on the Soboslai point. I think it's now no longer a discussion who our best midfield 3 is currently. Curtis, McAllister, Gravenberch. End of discussion. All 3 can actually play the sport. All 3 can actually keep the ball. All 3 have technique. All 3 have a good first touch. All 3 can pass the ball properly. So, like, if I'm looking at the slot style of football, all 3 suit the slot style of football, which is pass, keep the ball, press resistant, etc. Which we are going to get pressed in certain games. You know, we're going to get pressed in games like in games like the games maybe against the Madrid or a City. And this brings me now to the overall the kind of the next discussion point, because now we open the floor up. First of all, big up to all of you guys. Make sure guys are slapping the like button. Make sure guys are subscribing to the channel if you're yet to do so. Every single one of you guys, please hit the like button, subscribe. We've got 400 people locked in, so please do like the video. Let's get to 200 likes. Big up to Ed and Bob for the super chats. Big up everyone who shows us love. Like and subscribe right now. And look, now we kind of have to unpack, because I get it, guys. I get it. Yes, rivals do say we haven't played anyone yet, which is BS. 100%. I'm with you guys. I'm a Liverpool fan. I know that a lot of games are difficult. But now, after this international break, barring Southampton, Liverpool have a difficult run. Like we have to be serious. Yes, we have beaten a lot of teams. Yes, we have. And I'm with you guys. I think certain rivals take it to the next level. They act like we've played a bunch of nobodies. But in these next like 5-6 games, we've got Madrid at home. We've got Man City at home. We've got Newcastle away. Everton away, which to some rival listening is going to go like, that's Everton. Yeah, but Everton are going to give 500% on the pitch to try to stop us, because that's like their cup final. You know, every single season they always do that. We have 1 win in 7 at Goodison. So those kind of 4 out of 5 difficult fixtures. Who should I start? I'll start with you again, Endz, and then we open the floor up. How would you look at this next run? You're on mute, by the way, because you're a fraud. I'm mute. Hello, you're on mute. Nunes guy, hi. Yes.
Nah, for me personally, I think we're more equipped for these type of games, man. The Newcastle one, it tends to be, we know in midfield they're going to be battling. Joe Linton's going to be running everywhere and clamping everyone down. So that game, I think we just have to keep the ball and we'll find the gaps. I watched the way that they played against Forest, because I watched that game. Forest had chances themselves in that game. They kept opening them up, but I don't know if the quality on the day wasn't there. So I know we can definitely do better than that. The Everton one, I think on the clock, we was always emotional going into that game. It was more, we need to win. It's for the cities, for this and it's for that. I think with Arne Slot, it's like, listen, guys, I just want 3 points. I don't care about what's for the city. I don't care it's a derby. It's just another game of football. Go out there and give me them 3 points. And I think that's what we're going to do. I don't think we're going to go into it with the emotional thing, flying into tackles, trying to do all that stuff we normally do in a derby game. The Real Madrid one, I've been watching them this season. Listen, they've got players that can hurt us, and that's fair to say. They got Mbappe, they got Vinny, they got some ballers in the team.
Well, you know, Champions League is different, though. To be fair,
I promise you, if we play the way I know we can play, we will smoke these, man. I've watched their the most recent one. They had players dropping like flies in that game. Militao's now gone again with an ACL.
Verde is playing right back.
He's injured. Like they had just players just dropping like flies in the game. Rodrigo.
Where are we going with this?
This is PTSD, Husam.
Yeah,
it's not. It's factual. They lost to Sheriff Tiraspol at Bernabeu and won the Champions League, bro. They've had shit performances in group stages from when Champions League was invented. They've had bad games.
Sam, we're talking about our game. Can we get the 3 points? Yeah, bro. They can probably.
Of course we can, but it's not easy. Because you're saying we're going to slap them and we're going to smash them.
Bro,
I'm not going to go that far.
We play the way we can play with their injuries. How are we so scared to say that we can beat this team? While we're watching, obviously, I don't know if you guys watch their game, the Spanish league. Yeah. I know most of you guys in the chat don't watch any other football games. But in general, bro, I've watched them play this. You can get at them. And with the injuries they have, that's like us going against them and going, Virgil's missing, Ibu's missing. Are we saying, no, we're Liverpool, we should still go and win? No, we'll be scared as shit, bro, because we're missing key components to what we're doing. Do they have players that can hurt us? Of course they do. Of course they do. Vinny can, off the whim, kill Trent down the line and whip one in the top corner. We know this. It can happen. But at the same time, do we not trust the world-class Mo Salah that we say Diaz in form? We don't trust these men now. All of a sudden, we're now, it's Real Madrid, Bro, they have mad injuries as well. We go in there with a clean bill of health.
Already scored against Madrid.
We go in there with a clean bill of health. We saying we can't win the game. We might as well.
Guy, you keep sending shots at him. I let the first one go. He should have passed. You're the biggest fraud. You're actually the biggest fraud on this whole panel. You keep talking about Mo like Mo's the problem in this team. He's positively affected 11 out of the 17 games we had this season.
67% of the goals we scored, he's in there. I saw the stat. It's fine.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is, you guys are the fraud on here. not agreeing that we can go and beat this team, bro. Like with all their injuries, we're still worried.
And
I don't
you should
think
be a
that-
yoga
but-
instructor.
With the way
because
that we've been playing this season, more
First of all,
control
you
of the game, we're
switched up
worried.
your own words, and second of all, you're switching up our words. No one here, and I'll speak for all of them, thinks that we can't beat Real Madrid. Of course we can. The point is, you're acting like it's gonna be a nothing game, and we're gonna slap
We're
them up.
at
Massive.
Anfield, bro. Let's
If
go
they
and-
play the way that they play, we're gonna smash these lot up.
Yeah.
That's the
Because
problem,
we're not
fraud.
going to do the emotional thing. Mo Salah talking about, oh yeah, I need revenge on that, bro. We're going to be there. We want to score goals, bro. We're gonna.
There's other players on the team. Like
I'm talking about my
on Salah.
G. Can I not speak about my talisman, the main man in my team, the world
You
class?
deserve
Is Virgil not a main man in our team? Is
I did mention Virgil. I said if we went into the game with an Ibu and a Virgil injury.
No. But you mentioned them in a positive light. I feel like with Salah,
Yeah.
we just need to
Okay. So I should be worried about what.
Because
how
last
it
I
came
checked, when
across
we
to you.
played at
I-
Anfield last time.
Just be
No,
positive.
Endz, 1 second. Last we played at Anfield against Real Madrid. We had
Yeah.
2 goals. One was created by Salah, one was scored by Salah.
I know
Okay,
that's
okay,
fine. And
okay,
that's one.
hold on.
I'm talking
Was
about the
it his
result,
fault we
Husam. I'm
lost that
talking
game,
about
or
the
was it
result.
the defense?
Husam, if we go 2-0 up in this game this time round, I do believe the way we play, we can score even more goals. Not only that, I think we can contain and control the game based on the way we play. I felt like the game. Remember the game. The reason why we end up losing, Alisson kicked a ball at Vinny, didn't he?
Yes.
He kicked the ball at
Yeah.
Vinny for us to concede. And I'm
K
sure there
Mac
was,
ain't here. He's gonna start talking about start Kelleher and shit. So
Yeah,
big up
and
K Mac.
and the goals we conceded, bro. The first 2 goals, I thought that was our fault to allow them back in the game. The rest of the goals, bro.
Gomez, I think, had the worst game of his career that day.
But what I mean is, I think the way that we've been playing this season, the more controlled, measured way that we've been playing, understanding when we score, let's not be frantic and go and try and find 2, 3, 4, and let's just push everyone forward. We're going to carry on playing the same way. I'm looking at their team and going, do you know what? They've got a few injuries in the team with key components, key players that makes a difference in their team. At the moment, presently, we've got a good bill of health, and I know we still got the international break to go. So it could maybe, and I hope, fingers crossed, nothing happens. But if we go into the game with a full strength squad, with how we've been playing, with their players out, why can't we go and especially having the Anfield effect as well? Can't we go and win? Yes, they have got some world-class players in there that can cause us problems. That's fine. Most teams we play against, you guys are complaining about them anyway. The other day, someone who was that, Max called in on my channel saying, because the team had 19 shots, Liverpool are shit, stuff like that. So yes, teams out there got good players. Real Madrid have got some world-class players, but I trust my team, bro. If at this point now we don't trust them, then when are we going to trust them? That it makes a difference after Real Madrid and Man City, then we're going to fully trust them. So 2 games is a measure of where we trust them out of. So 2 games out of 17 is where we're going to trust them. 2 games out of 18 is where we're going to trust this team.
I think you have to remember with that first look at with the 5-2 at Anfield, like you have to view that in a microcosm. That's not indicative of Liverpool Football Club. That game that ended up Stefan. We had an 18-year-old basically trying to chase Luka Modric around the midfield every single counterattack, and he made mistakes, and that led to us getting punished. And I don't think that 5-2 was indicative of what the actual performance on the pitch was. Like, to me, especially with the way that we played in the first half, it didn't feel like a 5-2. Coming into this game against Real Madrid, we're top of the Champions League table. AC Milan just beat Real Madrid in their own backyard. Real Madrid have also lost to Lille away. They have a lot of problems. Like, they're talking about getting rid of Carlo Ancelotti. Like, they're talking about having to play, Valverde at right back. Jude Bellingham hasn't been able. I mean, I saw Thierry Henry sort of break it down. Jude Bellingham makes Kylian Mbappe's runs for Kylian Mbappe. He's playing a midfielder, but he's making striker runs. And then Mbappe just kind of sits around twiddling his thumb, waiting for the ball to come to him. Like, they haven't figured out how to be one cohesive unit yet. That's not to say that they can't figure it out for one night and show up against us. But at the same time, this isn't going to be the same manager that's going into that game. We're not going to play the same way. We're not going to play gung-ho lightning style football. We're going to try to control the game. We're going to spend that first 20 minutes trying to get the energy out of Real Madrid. We're going to, kind of pick our spots, take our chances, do what we do against everybody else. I don't think it's ridiculous to say that if we play the best that we can push these guys off the park, because I think that if this Liverpool squad this season plays the best they can beat any team on the face of the earth 3-0, maybe barring Barcelona. Barring maybe Barcelona, considering the form that they're on. But outside of that one team, out of the thousands in Europe, if we're on at 100%, we will beat anybody 3-0 at home. So I don't see any craziness of that. To me, the game that I'm more worried about is City, because ultimately we're top of the Champions League table, right? Like, I care more about this Premier League.
Do you agree with this pinned comment?
Real Madrid is not a must win. I don't think it is, but I think we should still win.
Okay, all of you guys, if you were offered the win against City or a win against Madrid, which one are you taking?
City, obviously. Right? Look, so I look at it maybe a little bit different. I think in this little run that we got coming up, Real Madrid is the least important game.
Agree.
Because the way we've started the Champions League, because we've won 4 out of 4, and they're saying you need 15 points to qualify automatically.
And goal difference.
And we got 4 games to go. We should pick up 3 points in 4 games. So for me, this Real Madrid game is actually least important. It's the sexiest game. Don't get me wrong, because it's Real Madrid Liverpool.
Why are you commenting your answer? You're on the panel, Endz. You're literally here. You can just say City. Why are you commenting City? You're literally here, bro. You're actually here, bro. Just say City.
Listen to what I said.
And commenting it in the chat like he's in the audience.
If you listen to some, I said City. I'm in the chat with the man, then, bro. They're calling me. I'm having a conversation in there.
Go ahead, Jamie. Go ahead. This guy couldn't get in the chat. You're here, brother.
Do you know what's weird? I think our hardest game on this run might be Newcastle away.
I'd go Everton away.
It might be Southampton. I'm not even kidding.
Because Southampton game after international break, but we should, it's just.
You want to know why I say Everton away? And it's not even I'm gonna do the super chats in a bit, but this is so true. It's Everton's last derby at Goodison before they make the new stadium that they're having. This is their last derby, literally, against us at Goodison.
It's gonna be the nicest championship stadium in history.
But they're gonna give like 4 million% on the pitch that day. It's so obvious.
They are.
They're
just so bad, though.
They can give 100% without the football. That's what we're gonna do. We'll keep the football.
The Southampton game might be tricky because it's the international break, and it depends what Slot picks as the 11 for that game. Because the last international break, I don't think he played any of the South American players, did he?
Yeah, he didn't.
So it depends how he looks at it. But yeah, I feel like the City game at home. Liverpool City games, usually the home team wins them games in them matches most of the time. City the way they are at the moment, I feel like Liverpool have got to go for it. There's something about Newcastle away. I think Newcastle could play spoiler a lot this season against a lot of the big teams, especially at their ground. And the Real Madrid one is the least game. Like, if we lost that or drew that, I'm not going to be sitting here worrying and crying. But the league's more important to me. It really is, and I feel like we've got a massive chance of winning.
But can we come to an agreement, please, as Liverpool content creators? Can we not do what certain people did last season, where they pretended the draw at home to City was a good result? Can we not do that this season, please? That's the one thing. Please, guys, let's not. I beg you, let's not do this whole thing where if it ends 1-1, we go like, oh, it's a good result against Man City. Can we not do this?
We got to beat them, in my opinion. The way
we have to beat them. Thank you.
Back it up with a string of results, though.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Endz. Football sometimes is not mathematical. Mathematically, you could draw and get away with it, right? But I'm talking about momentum. They're down. I want to put my foot on their neck and just bury them. Momentum is a thing, you guys. When we beat them 3-1 at Anfield in the 1920 season, they were literally dead after that. They lost I swear, didn't they lose 2 games after that or something in the league or through a game? After that, they went away. They lost at home to Palace 2-1. Then they went away to Wolves and lost 3-2. They had bad results after that because we completely buried their momentum. And if you guys, what you're saying is true, and we're all not worried about Arsenal, we're all worried about City only, then you have to bury them when you have the opportunity. Simple as that.
The only way I think a draw would even be remotely acceptable would be if they drop points to Tottenham. If the international break comes and they draw to Tottenham, and they're another 2 points back, and we beat Southampton, that's what is that? 7 points?
7.
Okay, 7. That would be 7 points with potentially.
It's a bigger reason to beat them, Mike.
Yeah, 7 points with potentially the next person being 6 points behind if all of those teams win. Yes, I mean 100%. I think that this is 95%. You got to win. But if City drop points and all of a sudden, again, with those games. You have to throw form out of the window. City are going to show up and they're going to play football. This is not going to be just some sort of rollover game, and they can get a draw. Like ultimately, I think like 80% of these games over the last 6 years have been draws, whether it's home or it's away. If it's in the league, it's pretty much been a draw every single year, barring COVID. I think if you look at it since COVID, I don't think that we've lost the City at home. I think that we've drawn to them, and I think maybe we've only won once, if that. And I think away, I think we may have lost one, but other than that, this is usually a draw. And I'm not just going to throw caution on the wind because Rodri's not there, because ultimately, if Haaland wasn't having a generational stinker, bit of form, all of these losses would have been draws. So, they're still a dangerous beast, and we're 5 points ahead, and they got to get through Tottenham first, and then they got to go through their Champions League game. So, this isn't so simple for them either. I mean, they could go 2 terrible results, and then all of a sudden the whole aspect changes. But if the beast is wounded, I think that you have to kill it. So
thank you. Yes. That's my point. Kill the beast.
But everything needs to be put into perspective, because that game is going to be
by using your context, it's an even bigger reason to beat City. 10 points ahead of them. I'd love that.
100%. Because then we would be able to relax a little bit. We'd be able to say, okay, we can sort of come into perspective. But still, at the end of the day, what's the worst thing that happens? You stay 5 points ahead. It's almost like it's really hard to find a negative out of a draw, even though you don't want it to happen.
I will find the negative, because we have to kill the beast. That's my honest opinion on this. Right? And let me just say this: I have to cook a couple of people in the chat saying, "Oh, this time it's Slot." Guys, for the 100th time, why do you keep disrespecting Jurgen Klopp, Yachi? Why do you act like Klopp is just an average guy? The manager with the best record against Pep Guardiola in history is Jurgen Norbert Klopp. He's the only manager to have faced Pep double-digit times and has more wins against Pep than Pep has wins against him. Can we stop acting like Klopp didn't get the better of Pep 100 times? Once again, the game last season, the 1-1 game, we had more possession, more shots on target, more corners, more everything.
And we didn't have a penalty given to us.
But yes, and we had higher XG. So can we stop doing this whole Klopp, like Klopp being here is a negative? If I could send Klopp on loan just for the City game, I would, because he has the best record against Pep, bro. Like, prop Slot, but leave Klopp out of this. Anyway.
But Husam, though, praising one person doesn't mean we're knocking another one. I think that's the problem at the moment. Every time you praise someone, it means you don't like the other one.
Really?
That's what I've seen people say. Honestly, bro. See? Like we're saying we've got Slot now. The way we play now could mean that we have more of the possession, could mean that we do well.
It
doesn't mean that Klopp wasn't great when he was here. It doesn't.
Okay, how can you beat Pep Guardiola? You either park the bus and hit them on the counter attack, or you press them to shits, which is what Klopp used to do. Press the fuck out of them.
No, but that's But this season, that's not what other teams have beaten them have done. They've not done that. They just played their way. Kept the ball where they
You don't think Bournemouth pressed them? I think Bournemouth pressed the shit.
I'm not saying that. Obviously, there has to be a
Bournemouth pressed really high up the pitch, by the way. Really high.
I'm not saying that there's going to be a combination of pressing and defending when you play against City, obviously, but that's not the sole reason. They've gone, do you know what? We're now looking at them as a vulnerable team. We're going to play against them as they're a vulnerable team. And that's what these teams have done this season. They've gone, all right, if we lose, we lose. Let's just play. In the past previous seasons, the reason why teams just kept getting smoked by them, because they went into the game with a defeated mentality. Oh, we're going to sit back and hope we maybe catch them on a counter. You're not going to do that against City. This season, the teams have gone, you know what? We're just going to play them. And when they've played them, they've realized, these men are frail. They're not as good as what we think they are. That's what tends to happen when you switch of the mindset of going, yeah, I know they've got top players, but it's 11v11, 10v10.
Oh, yeah, this season the teams have definitely tried. I'm with you 100%.
Difference, bro. That's what I'm saying. When they're saying Slot, we're just like, no, we keep the ball better in transition. So we can do better in moments when we're attacking. Obviously, we get a lot of 3v2s, 4v2s, and we mess them up. But when we score, we're not like gung-ho to go and get the next one. We try and find a way to calm the game down and move it. And that game's at home, right? So we got that home fans behind us as well, man.
But once again, this comes back full circle. That's why I disagreed with Mike when he made this point. That's okay. We don't have to agree on everything. This is why I want us to beat them. Because right now, there's something as well I'm going to mention. We're building slowly a fear factor. Like that's important in a title race, where teams almost feel defeated before they attempt to play against Liverpool Football Club. They feel a little bit defeated. Like, shit, we're coming to Anfield. Like, shit, we're playing Liverpool. I don't think City has that right now. And I don't think Arsenal has that right now. That's why, while both of them are down, we must take the biggest advantage possible and push as strong as possible to try get to that level of like having that fear factor. Because you see the run I just mentioned, if we win the next 5 games, City drop points 2-3 games, Arsenal drop points 2-3 games, then you build up that fear factor, and you have personally stepped on your enemy's neck as he's going down. Like, momentum matters in these conversations.
It's the what I will say, yeah, on that Klopp and Slot thing. Slot, you can tell in the short time he's been here, he's way better at game management. I don't actually feel like Klopp had game management now at all. Like I didn't think he was that, but that's not his thing. That was just never his thing. His thing was, I'm gonna play this way, and this way is the way. Plan A don't work. We just have to make plan B, plan A a lot better. That was kind of his thing, which is fine, and it worked. You know what I mean? It works most of the time, right? But Slot, you can tell, as Endz is saying, like the way that we're playing certain games. Even Jerry mentioned there earlier on about like the Aston Villa game and just games in general. Like we know how to get through games. And I feel like in the games like this against a Madrid, against a City, you're right, 100%. Yes, there was or is a formula to beat Manchester City, but you kind of need to, like, this season's not really like that, as Endz said. So I don't feel like there's like a formula really to beat a team. Like Man City at the end of the day. Just like Liverpool, if they turn it on, no one's beating them. I don't care who you are. Madrid, Liverpool, it don't matter. They will beat you regardless. I've seen it happen more than enough times. Just like with Liverpool, if they turn it on, no one's beating Liverpool. We all know that we can beat any team in Europe, even a Barcelona, and I think Barcelona are probably equally the best team in Europe, you know, alongside Liverpool at this moment. So I feel like when it comes to games like this, I don't know if we're going to win or not. I think we can beat both of these teams, and as Endz even said, I feel like you can easily slap both of these teams, in fact, but it's just how the game's going to go. Do you know what I mean? We know Slot isn't one of those, you know, in his emotions type of guy. So where we would use the emotion of the crowd in these kind of games, I feel like Slot will take that away and he will just play the football, as you said, as Endz said. I just want the 3 points and bounce. I don't care about the City and forget that. I just want the 3 points. Let's go home. And I feel like that might actually serve us well in these kind of games. I'm not saying it. Listen, Klopp done his thing. He won those games as well. But in these kind of moments, this might help us. This might help us where it might be a boring 2-0 against super boring. Like
I'll take that. Boring. Give me a win.
But this is what I'm saying. You don't care how the win comes. You just want the win. So that's why I feel like with Real Madrid, with a City, bro, they're tough games. Like I know Madrid got bare players out, but bro, they got bare players out and they still got enough players who can hurt you on any day. City are City. Like as long as you still got Guardiola, you're a problem regardless. It doesn't really matter. So we come into a caution. So you know, it is what it is.
I think what Liverpool got to do, Liverpool got to keep the pressure on and just keep picking up points. It don't matter if it's ugly right now. Just keep picking up points, because if you keep picking up points, when Arsenal, City go and play and they see the league table, even if they're playing an easier team, the struggle becomes harder and harder because the points difference just keeps getting that bigger and bigger. You know, 9 points between us and Arsenal is massive. I know it's only November, but Arsenal now know they can't afford to slip up again. So that puts a lot of pressure on players physically, mentally. City, I don't think City have got that mental issue on that side of the game because they've been doing it in a way. So that's why I feel like the game against Man City, if we beat them and go 8 points clear of them, that is a lot. And then you just got to keep rolling. And yeah, like performances do matter, of course they do. But, you know, I don't care if we get an ugly 1-0 win against Man City and an ugly 1-0 win against Everton the following week. You know what I mean? Because it just keeps the points we're building. Simple as that.
Jacob, you know, Spurs are our bitch. Because Slot rejected you and then signed with us. Diaz rejected you and then signed with us. And let me remind you quickly of the biggest moment of your entire life belongs to Liverpool Football Club. So sit on the floor right now. So and shut the hell up.
Jacob, we only need Spurs to do one job, man. When we're back,
yeah, just beat City next and shut the hell up, whatever.
Yeah,
I think they might. You know, I think they might. It's so Spurs to do, isn't it?
Jerry, why are you quiet on the start run conversation?
I'm listening. You know, like
tell me your opinion.
Yeah, Real Madrid. I think just echoing what Endz said, man. I think Liverpool can do it. I think if you get out of the mode of wanting to view football only one way, then you'll start to enjoy what Liverpool are doing, and you actually enjoy the games, and you'll look at it and be like, oh, I see what we've done here. I liked how we negated that threat. I like how Vinicius wasn't a threat, or Modric couldn't get on the ball, and all we could do is pass backwards and sideways, all of that type of shebang. So yeah, I don't know, I'm looking at it and I feel like I'm just not worried about anyone really. Like, especially consider, because we've got the manager we've got, and I know that he will go and take his time and really try to analyze the tactical side of the game and find out the weaknesses of the opposition. I'm really comfortable in any game that we go into, knowing that, okay, even if he goes and gets it wrong in the first half, I know he's going to go and make adjustments in the second to go and counter that. Now, it doesn't mean Liverpool are going to win every single game, but it means I'm not going into it thinking our style is, oh, this might be danger. Like, I remember going with Klopp, like we used to go into games and I'm thinking, this is going to be mayhem, we're going to go toe-to-toe with them. And if this doesn't work out, we'll get spanked. That's how it felt. Whereas with Slot, very, very, like, do you know what I mean, more tactically astute in that regard. So I'm just comfortable. I'm emitting the energy Slot's emitting. I'm just calm, composed.
You might as well cut your hair,
I might as well,
Yeah. You might as well do the, you know what I'm saying?
I say you shave the beard and try it first, because obviously you got
hair. Listen. If you cut your hair, I'll trim the beard.
Can I ask a question then, guys? Can you be honest? Whose football do you prefer? Klopp's one, and take the emotions out of it.
Slot. I don't even need to.
Right. Not even
Football, do I prefer Klopp one? More entertainment.
I think Klopp's style of football is exciting to watch, but I prefer the tactical breakdown of Slot's football, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
but you want to know why I feel like that question
I think Slot does a mixture of both, by the way.
Yeah, he does, but I tell you what, that question is a bit early, still Ends. I'm not even trying to sit on the fence of being genuine. We need Slot to win stuff first for us to have that conversation. As in, I get you're asking about entertainment, but entertainment plus winning a trophy, like, at the football club, is when you can really measure it, like, as in, to be honest, actually, I take that back.
Husam, but you can still.
Actually, I take that back. I think entertainment is a lot is subjective completely. Like, people enjoy different styles of football. For me,
what your eyes enjoy, isn't it?
Yeah. For me, I think, genuinely speaking, from when I first started watching football, probably the most entertaining football was Klopp ball, whether it be Dortmund or Liverpool or whoever. The teams were always entertaining to watch. Yeah. I'm even talking about like the Kagawa teams and the Barrios. You guys remember him? Blaszczykowski. These guys.
We're talking about almost a decade versus 3 months, though. Like, I don't think that we can compare them yet.
No, but you can, though, because their football's not going to change.
We're not saying what football's more effective.
I mean,
the title.
But entertainment is subjective anyway.
But the thing is, if you're talking about my blood pressure, I would say Slot for sure. But if you're talking about like which one am I going to be like getting up out of my seat and screaming at my computer screen more, Klopp. But like, again, I think it's give and take, and ultimately, at least from my perspective, to me, I don't care how we play, right? Like, I can critique it, I can say what I want, I can give my opinion, but the paramount importance is winning something, right? So 100%. Klopp won me one of everything. Could have won me more too. So, ultimately,
that side, 100%.
I'm not going to be able to like really give.
Mike, that kind of contradicts.
I don't think entertainment relates to trophies.
Maybe
it
does. You said you don't care how we play.
I can never win anything, but they're attractive to watch.
You said you don't care how we play, but you can critique the performance. That contradicts itself. So you have to care about how we play.
It is a hypocritical opinion, 100%. I am aware of that, but ultimately, it's just from this stance. Like, yes, like, to answer your question, right now, today, November 17th, I prefer slot ball because I'm not having a heart attack and shaking every time the other team has the ball. Like, I feel calm. I feel like we're going to grow into the game. We're going to score, and it's going to take a worldie to beat us. But on the other end, I have to kind of remember the whole, Manchester City versus Liverpool, 4 years ago. I have to remember, all of the
7-0.
different, but not even that, all of like the last minute winners. Like, that's not fun to watch, but that's a different aspect of football that's very rare to get that consistently, right? Like all of a sudden pulling the hat out of the fire time and time again. But, I think it's just, different flavors for different people. But today, for my blood pressure, for my sanity, for my anxiety,
For sanity and blood pressure, everyone will say slot. But
Yeah.
entertainment, listen, I don't think there's a wrong answer. I really don't.
No,
You can enjoy whatever the hell you enjoy at the end of the day. Like if I'm talking pure enjoyment, just like gung-ho, I really like gung-ho football. I ain't gonna lie. That's why I find Brighton entertaining to watch as well. I think Angels Spurs is entertaining to watch.
If he had better
Like
players,
I get the argument
be
for
way
it. But entertainment anyway is not like a measuring stick for me. Anyway, let me just do a couple of these super chats before we talk about the underdog narrative, whether Mo Salah actually cooked me or not. Big up to all of you guys in the chat. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. 500 people in here. We ain't even on 200 likes yet. Let's get 200 likes, you frauds, right now. Every single one of you just hit the like button and subscribe. And big up to my guy, Redline Taranga, who says, we are dunking on Real Madrid. Listen, I think we can win. I ain't going to go as far as saying dunking. That's where kind of the argument started, I think we can win. Do I think it's like a dunking thing? I don't know, bro. Like, I'll be so serious with you. I just don't know, bro. But I hope you are right, Imagine, 08, 09, best week of my life. Like, when I was at school. We beat Real Madrid 4-0, and then we beat Man United 4-1 in the same week.
That was Desaina's greatest week as a professional footballer.
Bro, that week I walked in school like a king. Like I was the emperor. Like no one could say anything. Anytime a Man United fan said something like, oh, it's been 20-something years, I just went like, did this to his face. And then there is no reply. We gave 4-1 at Old Trafford. That's when Zidane came out publicly and said, Gerrard's better than Messi and Ronaldo. I still remember his reaction to that game. It's actually in the Guardian, because Liverpool fans, we don't make up fake quotes to prop up our stars, like a certain other fan base in Manchester who wear red, who make up fake quotes no one's ever heard of. These interviews don't exist. They translate wrong, and it is what it is. Big up Stevie lad. Big up my guy Ed, who says, Husam in the panel, what your thoughts on what Troy Deeney said about Salah? What did he say?
Oh, he said Troy Deeney's not world class, and he says Salah's not world class, and if his kids are going to watch a winger, he'd rather watch Vinny Jr. than Mo Salah.
But actually, why did he say Vinny? Because Vinny and Mo are actually a little bit similar, to be honest with you.
No, I think if you watch,
they're not a different profile.
But that's what I heard. I don't know the whole thing. Like.
Yeah, no, he was just saying what he would prefer world class to be, not what it should be. So when it goes away, what he's
a random guy's opinion.
Why are we even talking about it? Like, who cares, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
Roy Deeney is a nobody.
No, but even if who cares, isn't it? Like, if someone said that he's not good, we know he's good. So it's just like, all right, then.
Yeah. And then it was just like, and that's why I never really understood why Liverpool fans were getting so they're back up against it. Like Jerry just said it, like we know he is good, and in this definition in today's day and age, whatever you think that is, we know that he would be considered to be world class. So if he don't like it, that's the thing. If he don't like the way Salah is or don't think he's world class, I was like, that's super calm though. Like he prefers Vinny, and that is actually super calm.
Vinny's a great player.
Yeah, like he's not like he named like some random winger.
He's a petulant child, but he's a very good player.
I will say though, Troy Deeney did say he was better than Harry Kane. So
no, he didn't. He said Crouch, innit?
He's just another pundit, yo. People.
He's a weird fella. He's a weird.
People
fella.
take what these guys say way too much. Like you're out of the game. You work for Sky Sports. You can't even give your actual opinion on certain things. Like Mohamed Salah is world class, and he could score 200 goals in the Premier League, and people would still say he's not even the best winger to ever play. So, like at that point, what is the point?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
It's just
Bro, why the unmeasured expectation? With the leopard and the tree emoji. I started this shit, don't forget.
What
gonna-
Sam, what does
Enough
this
of it.
leopard entry mean? Like, what is
It's
Oh, you
it's
don't know what the
Husam's
leopard and the
movement.
tree means. This is what the leopard and the tree means.
Oh,
This is what the leopard and the tree means. I'll explain it to you in
I
a
kept
second
seeing
when
it.
I segue what Mo said about
He's
the
calling
Underdog.
Arsenal a lion. He's calling
Yes,
Arsenal a
and
lion.
City, and we're just the leopard and the tree. I'm gonna explain it in a second. I'll explain it to you guys now. I gave big up my guy Josh who says I gave 400% of my math exam, still failed. There you are. He's obviously referring to the Everton point, as in Everton could give 400% and still lose. You are right, Josh. You know, I hope they do give it their all and still end up losing, to be honest with you. You know, but yeah, I just know they're gonna try their best, like a budget tryhards that game. It's just gonna happen. I just know for a fact. So yeah. Here come three fraudulent super chats in a row now. It's not Klopp tactics versus Madrid. It's slot tactics. Klopp always got a drag against Madrid, even when he was good. We'll beat Madrid convincingly. The thing that proves your point so correct is the Champions League final against Madrid in Paris. Courtois was man of the match. They outplayed us so much that their goalkeeper was man of the match. Imagine how stupid you sound. If Courtois didn't turn into Lev Yashin that day, Liverpool would have won the Champions League against Madrid because we were much better than them. By far, much better than them. Like the Salah chances, the Mane chances, Keita's shot is still traveling in the air. Like, let's not even go there, you know? So, yeah. Keita the fraud. We don't need Kirkas. We already have Simicas, Robertson, and Gomez. Only signing we should be making in January is Martin Zubimendi, either him or no one. I half agree with what you're saying, which is I don't think we need Kirkas, to be honest with you. I am in agreement with you there. I don't think right now left back is a necessity. Let's address in January the necessities. The part that I do disagree with, it can't be Zubimendi or no one again, because it means we're not learning from our mistakes. If Zubimendi says no again, then go get someone, because you need bodies, you need rotation, you need players who can come in, play against a Brentford away, play against a Southampton at home, play against an Ipswich at home, so a McAllister can be rested without us feeling the fact that he's not playing. So a Curtis Jones can be rested, so a Gravenberg can be rested. These things matter in title races. Ryan never learns. Robo said Slot is tactically unbelievable. None of our players ever said that about Klopp. Klopp was a top manager, but he was never a top tactician. This is correct, because all Klopp did was just shout at the players pre-game, you know, and you know, they ended up playing football. All he did was just shout, man manage. He just did the haka. You know, the New Zealand New Zealand rugby team do. He just did the haka pre-game. Oh, yeah, they just did all this stuff. And then he go out on the pitch, guys. There was no tactics at all.
To be fair, he did get Pep Linders to you know, do the tactical side of the game. So
Okay, so it's Pep Linders' fault in the last 2 seasons, not Klopp.
well, no, because you don't macromanage, you micromanage, isn't it? Well, you macromanage, not micromanage.
You can't pick and choose.
So exactly. So if he picks, if I'm a coach and I pick my number 2 and I trust my number 2 to do something, then it still falls back on me, even if I got someone else to go and do it.
I hear you. 90% of the matches, the opponent look hungover after 90 minutes. We are a second half team. Salah full shirt. Second half, it's off. Is and the leopard and the tree emojis. I have to explain the leopard and the tree thing now in a second. I will, guys. I promise. Big up to you guys. Thank you guys so much, my guy Edward, for the super chat. Double is on chat for my guy Ed, who says, ban Ray, that fraud. You ask and you shall receive, Ed. Ray has been banned for a week, so he will not be making any comment for a week, and it's over. We can all have a day off from him shitting on our greatest ever modern era manager, because he's been banned. Double is on chat right now for Ed. Thank you so much, Ed, for the super chat.
The donation,
Big
Ed,
up
man.
to you.
Donation.
Yeah, big up to you, Ed. Ray can hold that. Club ball last 2 years was entertaining for neutrals. I didn't find conceding 10 big chances per game entertaining. He was washed in the last 10 years. We didn't concede 10 big chances per... Where do you make this shit up? This never happened. The one season where Klopp is at fault for me was the season where we finished 5th. That's the season where I blame him. Last season, listen, let's not get into there again, but you already know my explanation. Big up my guy Ed, who says you don't know my level of pettiness. Oh, now we do know. England 3-0. Now we do know, you get me, which is why we banned them. So enjoy it, Ed. Habibi told you Slot is the new Bob. Imagine Suarez. Sing, it's too early to call anyone Bob Paisley. That's our greatest ever manager. Calm the fuck down, I beg you. Relax. Relax. Please, let's not go there. I beg you, please. Big up to you, Singh. But we will see. Maybe you are right. Courtois only made 2 top saves. The rest were saves he should be making. Even Ancelotti said it was easy to prepare for the game. Yeah, but he said it was easy to... Once again, you're the biggest out of context guy in the universe. The reason why he said it's easy to prepare is because Klopp doesn't change his style. Klopp doesn't change his systems. And everyone knows how Klopp plays. My mom knows how Klopp plays. So that's why you can prepare against that. But we were the better team even with his preparation. We did have the more dangerous chances. And Courtois was man of the match for a reason. And I do disagree with that because he made 2 saves from Salah. 1 shot from far, 1 from close. He made a save from Mane in the first half. I can't recall all of them, but he did make a lot of saves. Large up the Liverpool mandem. If Trent bounces, is he a snake? Is what Abdullah asks.
No. And he's also... We have to remember, Trent has been good defensively, but in comparison to what he used to be, he's been exceptional. And offensively, I think that he is a shadow of himself this season. So, and ultimately, the kids won everything. So if you want to go get paid $500,000 a week to go play at Real Madrid, I'm not going to twist your arm and keep you here. I'm also not going to break the bank of the entire team to just suit your needs as a right back. Like it's just crazy. People are just getting way too emotional about it.
I hear you, Abdullah. And I agree with what Mike said. Me personally, I don't think he's a snake. I'm blaming more the club for him being in this position. Regardless, we're going to talking about the underdog narrative. You get me right now. And I want to ask the guys' opinions on Kirkus as well. So that's going to be the last section because we want to keep the guys for too long. Big up to every single person locked in. Guys, like the video, subscribe. Keep getting involved in the chat. W's in the chat again for my guy, Ed. Big up to you, Ed. Big up to everyone who's locked in. And we are going to be talking about the underdog thing. And I want us to talk about transfers as well. Now, I'll tell you the leopard and the tree stuff, G. You go on the football terrace. We work with a lot of rivals. We know exactly what the hell they say. Okay? There were rival fans who put Spurs above Liverpool, Man United above Liverpool, Chelsea above Liverpool, and of course the other 2 above Liverpool. What is not going to happen is I accept a Man United fan telling me, Liverpool, you must in November. Now, the reason why I'm running the underdog narrative is I will not apply pressure on Arne Slot in his first season with 0 signings to win a league title. So I don't know if you watch National Geographic, I do, with the animal documentaries and stuff. The leopard in the tree is essentially the leopard just sitting in the tree watching. Every time you watch National Geographic, the leopard is in the tree just doing this. This is us right now. He's just hanging out in the tree. You get me? And just let everyone fight. And actually, I need a new edit where the hyenas Arsenal, because they're always bitching about something, and that's hyenas in the jungle as well. So hyena would be a bit more suited for them. But like, let everyone else fight, and we're just gonna sneak towards that. Like, I want us to go under the radar as much as possible and build a lead so unsurmountable that even if Man City and Arsenal wake up, it's too late. Like, even if they do think that it's like, even if
so
Arsenal
like 19-20 season,
15 in a row in the second half of the season, doesn't matter because we won. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's my point about the leopard and the tree stuff. Okay. And Mike used it against me what Salah said in the interview. Of course Salah's going to say that. He doesn't like the fact that we're underdogs because he has elite mentality. That's why he's a football player and I'm a YouTuber. Me, I have to just we have to sneak in. I'm not going to apply pressure on my club to win it in this first season because even from this position, if we win a domestic cup, we do well in the Champions League and we finish 3rd, I'm not going to say, Slot, you have failed this season. How can I? We didn't make a single signing, like other than Chiesa, which I don't even know if that counts at this point. So that's what I'm saying. For me, that's the leopard and the tree narrative. As in, I refuse to have any rival telling me that the pressure is on us to win the league in November. When 2 months ago, you said Liverpool were finished, Liverpool are going to struggle to finish in the top 4 and all this shit. So, yeah.
No, I hear it. I think, listen, man, the thing is, though, I don't think anybody, Liverpool fans included, I don't feel like I heard anybody thinking that we would be in this position where we'd be 5 points ahead of Manchester City, 9 points, whatever it is, ahead of Arsenal, top of the Champions League, or maybe that one, actually, to be fair, by this point. But I don't know if people saw it that way at the beginning of the season. So to see it there, it is kind of surprising because I didn't think Manchester City would be 5 points off at this stage, in the season. I didn't think Arsenal would be 9 points off at this stage, in the season. So we just got to capitalize, man. And if rivals want to say whatever, then I guess that's fine. Do you know what I mean? It's really not a big deal. Like, rivals can say whatever. United fans, I don't know, like, your club is in its own problem, so maybe you sit this one out. It's really only Arsenal and City fans, and I don't know that many City fans, if any. So it's just Arsenal fans really talking, and I think they're just a bit angry that their team isn't performing to the way that they thought they should be at this stage. So it's that kind of, you're getting that anger out, but you're angry at the wrong person. Don't be angry at Liverpool. Like, we're just doing what we need to do. Be angry at your team, be angry at your manager, your club for doing whatever it is they didn't do. Like, we just keep winning. And if that means people are just going to get rattled, then that's on them.
Yeah.
Like,
it definitely rattles the rivals. It rattles everyone. The reason why the underdog narrative rattles everyone is because the underdog narrative is actually their own narrative. That's why I'm using it.
Yeah.
Because you all told me I'm finished. Now you're telling me you must in November. Have some shame. What do you mean you must in November? I don't care.
No, sorry, Sam. You know the thing as well, like, I know we keep saying Arsenal and all these, man, but there's only a point separating Arsenal from like 9th.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
3
like,
points.
If they drop points again, there's so many other teams that can go by them as well. And obviously, Man City, you expect them to do better than what they're doing. But they got Chelsea and Forest on the same points as them. They got Brighton on the same points as them, and like Newcastle and the rest, and Fulham and Aston Villa, they're only a point behind them. So, we're saying that Arsenal, based on previous years, we expect them to challenge the players that they got in their team. But the fact that they're discounting all the other teams in and around them is crazy, because all they have to do is draw, and then the pressure even.
Oh, we were ahead of Arsenal by like 9 points as well last year, and they caught up.
They just, I don't know.
It's an insurmountable lead, is my point.
Different circumstances.
Listen, the points are the points, innit? It is November.
I agree. I just don't think
the points are the points. But you're right. We know that these teams can put a string of results together. We've seen that our team can do it in the past. But at the same time, it's good to have a lead now. Because if we don't have a lead and we're neck to neck, come to that stage, then we have to be close to perfect, because we know the Man City can be close to perfect. And Arsenal can, we've seen in the last 2 years, they've been close to perfect. But with a lead, it allows us a bit of breathing room. So when we are off the pace for a game, all right, cool, boys.
And that's why we have to increase the lead now.
Yeah,
that's why now is the best part, while they're all struggling to increase the lead. And I agree. Sorry, LK's point is 100% true. The team that must is Arsenal, not us. Because Arne Slot's first season, you're not going to tell me top of the league in November. Oh, you must, or you bottom. Says who? Why are you making up these narratives? You're the team that must, not me. Because this is 5 years into the Arteta thing with 800 million spent. Slot's only signing is Federico Chiesa. He must, based on what? Based on the fact that we're top of the league in November. And so what do you mean he must? Why should I apply pressure on my own football club and my own manager to win a league title because we're 5 points above City in November? What kind of logic is that?
It isn't even about pressure. Like, I genuinely despise the fact that we're a third of the way through the season and people already talk about favorites, titles. It's almost like you want the season to be 1 week. It's like you want to just get to the end of the season, every single season. You don't want to enjoy football. You don't want to watch it. You just want to talk about who's going to win, and then you want to just, passively do everything else. It doesn't make any sense to me. Not to mention the fact that, like, things change, and ultimately rivals have these opinions because then all they want to do is they want to build you up, and then when you blow it, they want to say you bottled it. Like, that's it. It's like it's a completely socially engineered concept and way to look.
Igal actually admitted that publicly. Igal fully admitted it. He said he's building us up to bring us down.
It drives me crazy, and I'm like, bro, we're 30% through the seasons. 11 games in the league. There's 38 games. That's 27 games. That's more than 3 times the amount of games that we have played so far. And there's a 5-point lead, and there's the Champions League, and there's Carabao Cup, and there's FA Cup. There's 8 months of football left, and you want to sit here and tell me that I am favorites because I'm 5 points ahead and other teams have had a poor spell of form. Like, yes, like on paper, we are the best team in form. So if you're going to concede to that argument and live in that reality, then I'll give it to you. Currently, today, as it stands, we're favorites. But like, it's such a shit way to look at the game. And like, it's such a social way to look at the game because you're just building it up to crash it on someone else rather than realizing like, holy shit, I'm Arsenal and I suck right now. Or holy shit, I'm City and I am awful without Rodri. I've lost 37% of my games without one guy. That should be a problem. So, you know, whatever. However you want to look at the game
Mike,
is how you want to look at
if we do lose or drop points to Southampton, they'll be the first people to go like, I told you so, Liverpool are going to fall off. So why are you saying we must then?
If we are 5 points ahead and, you know, the date is April 15th, I would say, okay, you know what? We've got like 7 games left. That's fine. We must. You have a 2-game lead against everyone else. You must. It's 11 games in, bro. Like, seriously.
Yeah. But it's a bit like people who do this whole world-class player right now and team of the season right now. I'm like, the whole point, you doing all of that, like, for you to put someone, say, like, or call someone world-class player right now as of today's date on the 11th or 17th, of November, only to then say in 2 months' time that, this guy ain't even that world-class. It's like, as Mike said, really, like, it's just, you want to build someone up to bring them down. But then sometimes I just think kind of a pointless chat. I don't really understand, like, what would be the benefit in having that kind of conversation at this moment in time, because the season's not even like halfway through to even have a bit more of a better gauge of things. Like right now, as Endz just pointed out a minute ago, Nottingham Forest are high up in the league. I don't know how it's going to end.
Brighton, by the way, Brighton are high up in the league.
Brighton, second best defense, G. Second best defense. Nottingham Forest.
I'm not saying, listen, they could end up there. They're playing well, to be fair, so they could continue this. But let's just say, in my head, I don't think that's going to happen, right? Are we going to turn around in 6 months' time and then be like, man, Forest are rubbish when they finish in mid-table, as an example? Not saying they will, but just as an example. No, like, it is what it is now. But everyone would be hyping them up today to then be like, yeah, but they're shit. Nuno's not all that great. This, that, and the third. It's like, well, you called him great not too long ago, or you called this player world class today, and all. I'm like, we don't like giving people any amount of time to just do anything. It is just like,
but that's why, truthfully, we are underdogs. Like, even banter aside, even rivals aside, we really are underdogs, because no one, I think the most positive Liverpool fan in the universe did not expect Liverpool to be top of Premier League and Champions League in like, because here's the thing, the Premier League is going to restart 25th November. No, but let's be serious. 25th November, the Premier League is going to restart. And so we're going to have one game in November, and then December comes. I don't think we're most likely going to meet Southampton. Let's be real here. So if we do beat Southampton, right, which I expect is going to happen, no one can tell me they expect us to be top of both competitions come December time. They will, even the positive ones would have expected we struggle in a game or two, we drop points in a game or two, maybe we're 3 points behind Arsenal, 5 points behind City, blah, 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 like whatever. We're there and thereabouts, but we're not like the team at top of everyone. And that's why I'm saying for us, I actually fully believe we are the underdogs until we're not. Until we're so far ahead of everyone else, it's impossible for us to be the underdog. That's what I think.
Don't you think the mentality is defeatist, though?
Absolutely not. Because I think we were, before the season started in 2019, 2020, we were the underdogs to Man City, and we won the league title.
We were, but until we're not. But the mentality to always be like, we're the underdogs. Oh, I'm the normal one. Oh, we don't do this. We haven't got this. We haven't got that. It's like we just give ourselves excuses as to why we can't do anything. The best teams.
My excuse has nothing to do with the mentality. My excuse is simply squad depth and health. That's it.
So therefore, we're not underdogs then.
No, we are underdogs because I know for a fact that not everyone's going to be fit till the end of the season. You want to know when I'll stop saying we're underdogs? If we're 10 points ahead in January and we sign a midfielder, I'll tell you, okay, we're not underdogs.
No, but that's every team, isn't it? Like City have got injuries, Arsenal have got injuries. We might have injuries. Like, do you know what I mean? That's football. But that.
Okay, can I ask you a question, Jerry? So let's say City are only 5 points behind us. Okay, let's say City are 6 points, 7 points behind us. And then January 1st comes and they sign Zubimendi. Then what?
Irrespective, I never think Liverpool should think they're underdogs ever. I think that means
I don't think the players should.
No,
The players
but
shouldn't.
But that's my point. But that seeps through everywhere, because what happens is naturally, if you go and allow, the fans to think that they're underdogs, at times it felt like sometimes, and this is just my belief, Klopp made it seem like we're underdogs, right? Even if you try to now enforce that belief or implement that belief into the players to say that they're not underdogs, naturally, when things don't go wrong, they look at it and be like, oh, but it's because we don't have the same money as City, and no, because they've got this. The mentality, I think, from the top down, and that's like fans, management, everyone has to be of a mindset of that you're not underdogs ever. It then allows you to.
Yeah, but I don't think that's gonna seep through to the players, though.
Huh?
No, but it's seep through to the fan base, isn't it? The players don't think it. The players don't think it.
No, but to be fair, the players do think it, because McAllister did say the other day he didn't expect Liverpool to be this good.
Yeah.
Fair
enough for what Mo said. Mo said, like, obviously he doesn't like.
Mo.
I don't think he's from the players group or him seeing what's out there in the fan base, going, "Oh, and he's going, no, we're Liverpool." And that's when he pointed out, well, we got the best goalkeeper here, and then he made a joke about Robbo, and then he was talking about the squad in general. We've got like top 3, top 5 players in each position. So in his mind, in the squad, the players don't think they're underdogs. But I think the fan base, based on maybe we don't want to stick our chest out, maybe we're worried about what someone else might say, fan base, rivals, whatever. But they don't think it. So why should we?
Yeah, but I'll tell you why we should think it. Context. Number one, you're coming up against Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. So until you're so far ahead of them, you have to know that come February time, they're going to win 15 in a row. And there is nothing you can do to stop it. Number one. Number two is Stoker's point. Arsenal have spent 800 million, finished second twice, 2 seasons in a row, challenge for the league. So why should I say my club must win the league title, or we have failed?
Husam, it's not about we must.
So do all of you believe then, if we don't win the league this season, we failed?
No. It's not about saying we must, but I think the idea is, I don't think it's that crazy. I think the idea is we should not go into a season going, we're not good enough to try and challenge or win this. I think that's more where he was coming from, Mo, instead of going, oh, why aren't we saying we're winning the league? I don't think that's what he means. It's, why shouldn't we challenge? Because we have the players here. We got Alisson here. We got this man. We got Virgil. Trent, we say, is one of the best, if not a generational right back. We've got, you've got himself in the squad. Diaz is now showing up. We got McAllister, World Cup. So he's looking around the squad going, I've got some good players alongside me here. Why is the fan base thinking we're not good enough?
Yeah, but even as negative as I am, even I said we're going to challenge this season. I don't think challenge is a negative expectation or a crazy expectation that anyone can put. I think we have a separation between us and the top 4 guys. And I think I said from the start, we will challenge. Winning it, though, is a different thing. Because winning it is because I know exactly what's going to happen, you guys. Come March time, everyone's going to be talking about fucking fatigue and rotation and the same shit that we said last year. That's why you need to improve. You need to get better. Now, how do I believe we get better? By signing players in the January window. And of course, anyone who wins the league needs a bit of luck. Meaning, with injuries, we need a bit of luck. This is a reality. No one wins a league title with 0 luck. Like, you have to have some form of luck.
You can create some of your luck with the way that you play. Like, if you watch what Arne Slot does, if we're conserving energy for 45 minutes in a game combined in terms of when we have the ball and we're simply controlling the game, not gassing ourselves out, that's going to build you luck later on in the season. Like, who expected Ibrahima Konate to start every single Premier League game all the way up to December? I don't think a single person here thought that he would start this many games in a row consistently. And you could probably say the same thing about other players in the team. So it's like, yeah, you do need a little bit of luck, but at the same time, you can also manufacture some of the luck with the way that you play.
Okay, Mike, if Konate gets injured against Southampton and we have to play Kwanzaa against City, are you confident?
No, but yeah, injuries happen though.
It's weird. But even if you went and said
and because injuries happen, we have to make up for it.
Yeah, no, but even if you say Kwanzaa got injured, right? Konate gets injured. Irrespective, I'm still like, well, the team need to go. Like, it's a team game, isn't it? So Kwanzaa's going to go and play. It's the same way when Kelleher comes in. Same way if we got an injury and people say, if Gravenberch gets injured, then we're finished. Ideally, remember, the talk was if we got Zubimendi, there'll be no space for Gravenberch because he'd be playing as an 8. So that'd either be McAllister and Soboslai at the beginning of the season. We never thought he'd play in the 6. So if it was Zubimendi, it would only be Zubimendi and whoever else would play there because we were looking to get rid of Endo. We can play Endo there. Like, as in, we've seen United win titles with Cleverley, Welbeck, O'Shea in the midfield, and they had pure injuries. Scholes they had to bring back from retirement because their midfield's not doing it. Darren Fletcher's got, do you know what I mean, stomach issues and all of that, and it still went and won the league. But there's a mentality that ran through them. Is that irrespective of who plays, we're still not underdogs.
Yeah, but I don't think they've played against someone like Pep's team.
No.
That's the depth team.
No, they haven't. But the reason why City are able to go and perform at the level they're at is because irrespective of, obviously until now, is irrespective of who's out, right? So when they don't have a striker, everyone's critiquing them about not having a striker. The mentality within the squad is we're still going to win. We're going to find a way to go and beat you if we haven't got a forward. When they don't have De Bruyne in there, fine, we're going to find a way to beat you without De Bruyne. When we haven't got this centre back here, fine, we're going to find a way how to go and beat you without a proper left back. We're going to play a centre back out there, and it's always finding a way to win, and it's that mentality to go and have. So when I'm saying, oh, we're not underdogs, of course, when you look at it on paper, if you believe City's 11 are better than Liverpool's 11 man for man, just on paper, then you could say, yeah, we're underdogs in terms of that. But in terms of our mindset when we go into games, and based on what I've seen this season, we can't have that mentality that we're underdogs.
Yeah, it depends. And it depends what you think an underdog is at the end of the day. So look, if Andy Murray played up Federer in a final, I don't think you'd class Murray as an underdog because he's a world-class tennis player. Just Federer's just a little bit better. But if Jamie Phillips played Federer in a tennis final, that's an underdog. You know what I mean? I think it all depends what you see as an underdog. I can't look at Liverpool and call them underdogs with the world-class players in our squad. I also look at the summer transfer window, and I don't think the top three teams that are competing for this title, I don't think any of them did enough, personally. I think City had a terrible transfer window.
They didn't do enough, but we did nothing. That's the difference.
They never got spanked. And this is where I'm coming to. Arsenal had a terrible transfer window. They just bought pretty meaty players to go in the squad. They didn't buy players that are already better than what they got. And I always thought with Arsenal, injuries are going to hit them eventually. You know, Arsenal reminded me of Klopp's Liverpool a little bit, where they went injury-free almost for 2 years, but Liverpool actually got over the line where Arsenal didn't. And now injuries are hitting them, you know. And Liverpool finished on 82 points last year. I think we forget that. You know, they finished on 82 points last year, and I don't think the drop-off was going to be that mad. I actually think the players needed a new voice. It don't matter how good Klopp is and a world-class manager, one of the greatest of all time. Players, after so long, sometimes just need a new voice and a new way, a fresh way of doing things sometimes. And that's what's happening so far this season. But yeah, look, the only team that's really making any noise, or the fan base that's making any noise, is Arsenal fans. That's the fan base that are making noise because they put themselves on a pedestal, apparently, where they're the best around at the moment for some reason the last 2 years. The media have put Arsenal right up there. Although they've won nothing. And, you know, they had an injury crisis for 2 days, and the media acted like it'd be a miracle if they can win a game of football, you know, and then they got their players back 2 days later. You know, the Liverpool-Arsenal game, you would have thought Arsenal had half a team out, where in theory, at the start of the game, Liverpool and Arsenal had the same amount of players out injured.
We had one more, to be fair, Jay.
Yeah, it's just it's. I think it's going to go very close this season between these three fantastic clubs. I think Arsenal have got a lot to do. Look, you can't win league titles in November, but you can lose them.
Yes.
You can lose them, and I think Arsenal right now,
and you can be the reason the other team loses them.
Yeah, and Arsenal right now are under a massive pressure. Liverpool have got to go through a disaster.
I think
for Arsenal to catch 9 points up.
I think the problem Arsenal have got, if we're just talking about Arsenal, is the fact that, like, if it was just one team, if they're only chasing one team, it's fine.
Yeah.
Both Liverpool and City aren't dropping off. You ain't going to get monumental drop-offs by Liverpool and City. One of them might drop off. You might get lucky and you might catch one. You're not going to catch the other. And that's the problem they're in now, is that they've gone too far. If Liverpool in that situation, I'd say the same thing. I'd be like, look, you might catch Arsenal. You might even catch City if they can't buck up their ideas. You ain't going to catch up both of them. Because you need to now, from this point on, win all your games and hope Liverpool drop.
Yeah, exactly.
Without you losing any, without you dropping any
Yeah.
points. That's not going to happen. Like, it just, in my mind, it's just not going to happen.
And I've always said it. I think Liverpool have a better squad than Arsenal. I've always said it. I said it last season as well. I just think Arsenal were better coached the last 2 years than Liverpool, and the way they played was the way their team played was better coached the last 2 years. That's because if you look at the way Pep Linders played with Liverpool and you look at the way Pep Linders is playing with Salzburg right now, it's exactly the same. So you can tell he coached Liverpool last year, especially. I just feel like if I was going, I think Arsenal are a good team, but yeah, I just don't. 9 points is massive, you know.
It depends on the results as well in the upcoming fixtures. I mean, they draw to Forest at home, lose to Man United, blah, blah. Okay, I am with you guys. All I'm saying is 9 points is not impossible for any team to catch up. Like 9 points.
It's really not.
We got to go through shit.
To catch up. That means they're not catching up City then.
Yeah, but I don't think we necessarily have to go through the shit. Like, if we lose away at the Etihad and, like, you know, I don't know, we lose away at Stamford Bridge, that's already 2 games right there that it's a possibility we might lose in. I'm not saying impossible, it's a possibility.
Months away.
You know,
looking at what Arsenal have done, right, like so far, you're going to base it on now. Do you see them going the end of the season without dropping a point and going on a mad?
No. I'm not saying they're going to go flawless. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying they are capable of going on a run like they did in the second half last year. So we can't just dismiss them like they're a nothing team.
But so Liverpool. Okay. You could say so could Liverpool. Like
yes, 100% we can. 100%.
But there's one little thing with the injuries.
Last season, sorry, Mike, in the last 18 games, they won 16, drew 1, lost 1. 16.
Yes, one, 1,000%. But with the injuries, I think, okay, what's important is that ultimately, I think that teams have X factors. Everyone here thinks that teams have X factors. In our team, the only 2 players that I'm genuinely concerned if they got injured would be Virgil van Dijk and Mohamed Salah, right? If those 2 players don't get injured, I think that we can turn out results in games, right? Like, other teams have had to deal with adversity throughout the season. If you're going to be a champion, you're going to have to deal with some sort of adversity in some way, shape, or form. For City, it's Kevin De Bruyne and it's Rodri. Maybe you could even make the argument that it's just Rodri because you've lost almost 40% of the games without him. And then with Arsenal, it's Odegaard and Saka. Without Odegaard, that midfield looks like they couldn't attack anyone else on the planet unless it's through a set piece. But with us, I don't think that looking at injuries is the right way to look about it, because I think that with the way that Arne Slot has managed this team, injuries would affect us less than it would have under Klopp, right? Because Klopp has one style, he has one way, and it needs to be 100% efficient in every aspect. Yes, we had a whole spell where, during the title winning season, we were winning games, at the end of the game, whatever, like things like that happen. But what I've seen from Slot is his ability to change tactics, especially so in games. I feel like I haven't seen the same half twice. Like, no matter how we start a game, we finish it differently. And so most of the times it's with different players. And, I think that that's the kind of manager where if you can keep your X factor players on the pitch, those 2 players, the 2 most essential components, we can find ways to get points against anyone. Listen, obviously, depending on certain circumstances, City away is a different beast in itself, but that's 1 out of 38 games. And even if you're going to say Arsenal away, well, we already did that. And then even if you're going to say Chelsea away, that's 2 out of 38 games or 2 out of 27 remaining games. So, injuries can happen to anybody, but I don't think that it's fair to boil it down to that. And I think that ultimately you have to rise above that adversity. Unless the injury is to a paramount player like a Virgil van Dijk or a paramount player like a Mohamed Salah, because at the end of the day, the dude has been involved in 3/4 of the goals that we've scored in the Premier League.
Yeah,
so,
and Mike, with what you're saying there, I think it's already been proved this season that it don't matter what team you are. If you lose your best players, you're going to struggle. Yeah. Look at City. City missing Rodri, they're not quite the same team. Arsenal missing some of their players for key games. They weren't quite the same team. So, yeah, that's going to happen. Look, if Liverpool can keep the luck, and you have to have luck in winning titles as well.
Yes,
quality.
Yeah, I agree.
And if Virgil and Kanate and Salah, and especially and Gravenberch, them four alone stay fit for the whole season, and you build around them and you rotate around them as well, then Liverpool go very close. They go
Okay,
very close.
and this is the thing I want to ask you about now. The last kind of question before we wrap up the stream: the Kirkes links. I know you guys have seen them. Kirkes, January, stuff like that. Where are you with that conversation?
No, he can stay at his club, man.
It doesn't move me, to be fair.
Stay at the club, bro.
Is it Kirkes now? Because to be honest with you, in this international break, I've seen Tuchemeni links. I've seen that. Oh, apparently, like we're talking to his agent. There's so many links to so many different people. To Gyökeres links, to Marmoush links. You know what?
Gyökeres is definitely not going to happen. That's
smoke and mirrors. I want smoke and mirrors.
Whoever we speak about as a fan base seems to be not from a player standpoint, but say we're having an issue with a position. As soon as the fan base speak about it, all of a sudden we're linked with a player in that position.
Yeah, it's every time.
It's so surprising.
He's good.
You know what this reminds me of? Remember the season where we needed a midfielder desperately and we ended up signing Gakpo? I feel like, okay, bro, we need a left back. I'm with you. Yes, correct. But it's not like the fucking.
I don't think we need a left. I don't think we need a left back in January. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's a priority right now. Like, I don't think
I will take a midfielder and a forward.
I would say look at it though. They'll look at it and be like, well, in midfield, they'll look at it like we don't need reinforcements. Reason why is because originally Gravenberch wasn't the plan to play in the 6. We had to play him there because we had no one to play there. He's come good. So all of a sudden he's an option there. You still got Endo there, and I've got Morton who can play there. Now, unless you move on Endo and get someone else in, right? And then you have to hope that they gel in, hope that they do well, hope that whatever pre-season they went through, they're fine, and find someone that's not cup-tied if they're playing Champions League or not cup-tied with all of that.
That rule doesn't apply anymore.
Oh, it doesn't? Oh, okay, perfect. Well, again, but Liverpool just look at it and be like, well, all right, cool. Unless we get a player that's going to up the level of the squad, like if a Rodri was available, right, and you can get him in the January, Liverpool will go and try and get him. But
yeah, but here's the thing, Jerry.
I'm going to go and be like, well, we need someone for a rotation. Let's just grab Mario Lemina, like, and just bring him in as a body. They're not going to do that. They're just not going to.
It wouldn't work.
Yeah, but actually, I feel like we do need a body, though. Because I give you an example. I'm going to use the example you just brought to the table, which is Lemina. Let's assume January 1st comes around, we sign Lemina. If I were to play the double pivot of Lemina and Jones against the bottom 10 teams in the Premier League, would you be okay with that?
No, I would, but I would also be okay with Endo and Jones in there. That's my point. I think the fact that, you know, remember back end of last season, even last season, we were speaking about Endo as though, wow, that was a really, really good signing. And we couldn't get whoever we did, but we got Endo in, and he was a good player in the squad to have, and especially in certain games to bring on, scored some important goals. Because it seemed like Slot didn't want him, or he wasn't like the main guy for Slot in that DM role, and he was like our new DM, it seems as though he surpassed the requirements completely. But I don't think that is. I think Slot's very like, well, cool, we've got Endo in the squad. Of course, if I can go and get someone that's going to be better than Gravenberch to play in that situation, in that role, or I think he's better suited to them roles, we can go and get him. But I'm not going to go and grab any random player when I believe a pivot of Endo in that can go and play against.
Yeah, but don't you think that kind of mentality has cost us in the past?
No. The mentality has cost us in the past, but I don't believe it's about. I think there were certain situations, like when we're talking about like the defensive situation, where Liverpool should have gone and acted, and you decided to go and get Ben Davies and whatever when we didn't have any.
Yeah.
I don't think it's cost us. For example, when we went and got. When we need, I don't think it will cost us. If
let's say the Bellingham summer, Bellingham said, the Chouameni summer. Chouameni said no. We ended up going like, oh, there's no one who's an upgrade, so we're gonna sign no one. Don't you think that cost us?
Yeah,
no, but that's based around the manager. Go on, Jay. Sorry.
Yeah, but what I'm saying,
no, but it's the same mentality now. No. It's not. No. This is what proves that it wasn't just Klopp, because Slot is not loyal to these players like Klopp was.
No, I agree, but the reason why that was a problem, right, is because when you were looking at it, is that the way that he wanted to go and play, you could see that the players that we had at that time, if they were fit or unfit, were incapable of doing the job. As in, you looked at it like Fabinho can't run, Hendo can't run, Milner can't run, Keita's not available. So you need a player in there, and you go and get Gakpo. That's madness. But when you look at Liverpool right now, in terms of numbers, we're not looking at it like, oh my God, we're left. We've got no one left, and it's literally Gravenberch. And if he gets injured, we might have to go and play Konate in there. We might have to play Trent in there because we've got no one left. That's not the
Sick
situation.
of Arne, yeah.
Liverpool look at it and they're like, well, okay, well, McAllister played
Imagine
there.
Konate DM, that would be funny.
They've got McAllister played there last season. Jones played there for England now. You've got Endo that can play there. Unless we're going to get a better quality player and you can go and get that player. So if Zubimendi's available, Liverpool go and get him. If that's
Okay, but Jerry, January 1st, you call Zubimendi, he says no. Do you just say we're not going to sign no one?
No, but I don't. Yes, I would do that because it's not no one. But if Tchouameni's at the second name on the list and you want to get him, yes.
Tchouameni, Ederson, Alan Varela, Stiller.
I don't want to just go and get an Ederson because he had a decent season at Atalanta last year. You get him and you're like, oh my god, this guy's just not good enough. We've done that before with Davies to a less extent with Davies.
Yeah, but you're talking about like next level crap, like
no. But you know that signings, right? Majority of them don't work out. The majority of signings, majority of players that you bring into the club, I know Liverpool are different, but if you looked around the football game,
yeah, this is true. A lot of the signings don't work out. Correct. Yeah.
So when you look at it like that, would a Mario Lemina elevate Liverpool's level? Does a Mario Lemina?
He wouldn't. But my overall point is, because Lemina's better than a Jones, because Lemina's better than an Endo, because Lemina's better than a Szoboszlai, or players are okay. Let's say Endo is C. Let's say Szoboszlai is C level. Okay, as in average. If you get someone in that B slot, I'm not even talking about the A's or the A stars, which is your argument, which I understand. I'm talking about the B slot. If we get someone in the B slot like Joao Gomez, Lemina, Ederson, Varela, you heard the names last summer. If we get one of those players. The reason why I think that would help us is if we're competing on all four fronts, this is what I have a problem with. In the fourth round of the Carabao Cup away at Brighton, we brought on Salah, we brought on Konate. That should never be the case, ever. I don't care what's happening in the game. That should never be the case. We should be able to rely on the bench players. And we did that game because Morton had a very good game, Endo had a very good game. Yes, I'm with you. Now, in terms of Premier League fixtures, though, where they will not be rotating like Brighton rotated, meaning I'll give you a genuine example that could happen this season. In March time, we have an away game at Brentford, and then on a Tuesday, we're playing a Champions League quarterfinal away at Bayern Munich. Now, if I'm going Lemina and Curtis Jones and the double pivot away at Brentford, I can win that game. I can win that game a lot more comfortably than if it was Endo and Jones. And then I can go Gravenberch, McAllister, you're rested, cook Bayern Munich. You get what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying, but for me, you see how when you use what you're saying. If Endo and Morton or whoever Szoboszlai are C players in that category, right? For me, it's on the manager to elevate the performances to a B level standard, right? Yeah. It's not about getting the B level player that could drop to a C because he's not playing week in, week out anymore, and now he's having to come off the bench. Calvin Phillips or Kelvin Phillips or whatever his name is was the best example of that. At Leeds, he looked like a player. Liverpool, we as fans, some of us wanted him. City wanted him. City got him. As soon as he doesn't play week in, week out, and he's got to come in now, fill in Rodri's shoes, all of a sudden he's up to. That's the problem. If you're gonna go and get a player,
but I'm not asking him to fill in Gravenberch's shoes. I'm not.
No,
I'm saying play against Brentford away so Gravenberch can play against Bayern.
Exactly, but Lemina or whoever, I'm using that as an example because I actually like Lemina, but I'm saying Lemina is only, these players are only performing at the level they are because they're playing week in, week out. If they're coming in, remember on your pretense, isn't to go and compete with Gravenberch to be a starter as the six. You're saying to play against the bums essentially, and in the big games like play Gravenberch so we can go and rest them. Right? If you're going to go and do that, you get someone on Gravenberch's level, right, where they can really go and compete. And you're having a situation where you had, are you playing Jones or are you playing McAllister? Because they're performing really well, or you get someone that's better than him. You don't go and get someone at a B level that can, if you think Gravenberch's a B plus or A.
So where does rotation go in your perspective? I completely understand your perspective. The only thing you're leaving out of it, in my mind, is rotation. That's it.
No, but rotation for me, from what I've seen, and from what I've seen on the back end of last season, right, knowing there was a player that could come in certain games, he came out, played like a sustained period of time, came out, then come back in. Endo can do that for me. I think the idea that Endo can't go, and I'm not saying he's flipping Jabi Alonso in there, but Endo can do a job. Same way when we had Milne, he could do a job. I think Morton being in the team, I watched a lot of the Championship last year, and I watched a lot of football. He was very, very good last year. And for him to, if he can go and play top level championship football, I'm sorry, in a better team, he'd be able to go and do a job against Crystal Palace. I don't look at it like, oh my God, how can he not go and play against that?
But Endo didn't do a job against Crystal Palace last season.
No,
guys,
guys,
that was the worst game.
He did,
at the end of the day,
he done a really good job against City and then had a really good game against.
He did. I'm never going to take that away from him. He did. I by the way, I completely understand your. By the way, this actually is a question that has been.
I think you're focusing.
Other thing. But like
you're focusing on the wrong thing.
Need a body, right?
There's three players that should never be rotated. I think if you look at world football, there's three players that are barely rotated. Your number one goalkeeper, your best centre back, and your best DM. If you look at world football, them three players always play every game for their teams.
Yes.
They're barely rotated, yeah. So for Liverpool, if Alisson's always fit, he always plays. If Virgil's always fit, he always plays. And if Gravenberch is always fit right now, he always plays. If Arne Slot has seen Gravenberch as his main DM now, and he doesn't think he needs another DM, the best thing to go for Liverpool go and get is forget Supermendy, because it wouldn't work now, because Supermendy and Gravenberch in a double pivot wouldn't be what Slot wants. You need a sort of another number 8 to play alongside Gravenberch.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Liverpool, I think, need. They need an 8/6 that has got an all-round game.
I mean,
because McAllister he's the midfielder in our team that gets run past the most by the opposition, and you can see it's an issue.
I think that like my perspective on this would be looking at the summer. At the end of the summer, I said that this is either going to be the dumbest thing that we've ever done, or it's going to be the most genius play ever from from Edwards to just get a £10 million Chiesa. Regardless of what other teams have done, we have 28 of 33 points. We have dropped 5 points in 11 games. That's fantastic form in the Premier League. We're top of Europe right now. Based on what the genius of what Edwards did in the summer, I'm like, I don't care about what my opinion is, because he saw something that I didn't see, that you didn't see, that no one else here saw. Again, regardless of what the other team's forms were, because 5 points is whatever. You have to focus on yourself. 28 out of 33. That is exceptional. Top of Europe. That is exceptional. 6 goals conceded. That is exceptional. Like, going into this whatever January transfer window, we all have different opinions on what we think that we could need. Viewing from Jerry's perspective, what's the only position that I genuinely think we could get an upgrade on? It would be the 9. It would be getting someone who can consistently score goals and can consistently stay healthy. That's the only place in the team where you genuinely, bona fide, can say, I can get a better player that will start over you immediately. But that's also not to discount Nunes, because I think that Nunes has done amazing things.
Just as well, because they both scored the same amount of goals. Discount them both.
Well, no, the only reason why the only reason why I would discount Jota would be because of fitness history. That's it, right? He's injury prone. He gets hurt, and a lot of the times it's contact. But if you can't have a guy fall on you in a game, that's a problem, right? If a guy falls on you, you get tackled at the midway line, and all of a sudden you're out for 4 weeks. I can't have that be a consistent thing. But that's just from that perspective. The only place I think
but Mike, what's your opinion? Tell me yours.
My opinion is that I'm an idiot. Like, what I thought that we needed in the summer, we clearly didn't need. Michael Edwards saw something in this team that I didn't. He saw something that no one else on the fucking planet saw, because we're top of the league, regardless of anyone else. 5 points dropped. And honestly, the Forest game, we probably could have had something there too. I know that they played really well, but we had chances. And on another day, that could have been a draw. That could have been 4 points dropped. To me, would I like a new midfielder? For sure. But at the same time, you have to take Jerry's perspective into account. Like, are we just going to get someone to be rotation? Isn't that what Arsenal did with Marino? And Marino is absolute fucking dog water right now. He didn't add anything to that team. Did Calafiori add anything to that back line? No, because you just hear Arsenal fans talk about how he can't do anything offensively. I know that he scored the goal against City, but they complain about Calafiori.
Yeah, but
now they're saying, okay, yeah, 100%, which is why
rotation around them actually matters.
Which is fine, but like, ultimately, when you look at it, Joe Gomez can play left back and center back. Kwanzaa can play center back. Konate and Virgil van Dijk can play center back. You got Trent and you got Bradley on the right. You got Kostas and Andy on the left. Objectively speaking, from a footballing perspective and from Michael Edwards, I'm going to say I feel like I can do enough with that. In the midfield, we don't even have the guy that I want to play in the 10 available throughout this whole season. We haven't even seen Harvey Elliott play, and he was brilliant in preseason, and I think that he would be exceptional in that 10, and I think that he would relieve pressure from the double pivot because of his off-ball movement. All of a sudden, McAllister looks better. All of a sudden, Gravenberch looks better. And with the way that Szoboszlai runs, what's to say that he can't play in the double pivot with Gravenberch? Then you have Morton and you have Endo. Like, okay, so sure, maybe you have enough, rotation in that midfield. Up front, the only thing I'm worried about is a guy in the 9 who can consistently put the ball away. Jota can do that when he's healthy, but he's not always healthy. But it doesn't even matter what I think, because Michael Edwards saw something that no one else did. And I have to go into this transfer window trusting that he can be consistent in that aspect. And he was consistent for us in the past. And whatever they end up doing is what they're going to end up doing. They're probably going to throw smoke and mirrors at 8 million players. They're going to say, hey, Tuchemeni, I want you. They're going to say, Gyökeres, I want you. And then they're going to sign some no-name dude from some tiny country in the middle of nowhere, and he's going to come in and do a fucking worldie for us. So it's just like...
Do you know who's the signing of the season? Arne Slot. Go leave it there.
Okay, on that note, let me just read the super chat and get out of here. Big up to everyone locked in as well. There's still 630 people watching us even at this point in time. So big up to all of you guys. Guys, like
I did
the video.
forget Curtis Jones, by the way. I didn't even name Curtis Jones. Vel is
No,
right.
ignore Vel is just in his feelings about this Jones thing. Make sure you guys are liking. Make sure you guys are subscribing. We're 1 like away from 250. Let's get 300 likes. This is almost getting to a 2-hour show now. Oppenheimer settings. So let me just do these the super chats before we get out of here. The team knew how to adjust tactics in game after years of coaching, but at the moment they need to wait till halftime for the tweaks. Big up the panel. Yes, at the moment in the first half we aren't really cooking as much as we should, which I hope it doesn't come back to bite us in the ass at any point in time this season. And the tweaks are there, chills. Like I said, the tweaks that who did we play before Aston Villa? Brighton. The tweaks against Brighton at Anfield at home, I think changed the game for us in a positive note, and we ended up winning the game because we never played at their press once in that first half, and they always pressed us better. And in the second half, we completely changed it. We completely had a complete different energy, and I think that helped us win the game. So I'm all for the tactical adjustments and the tweaks and all that stuff. We got Matt in the chat as well. Big up to you, Matt. You was playing FIFA earlier. You're horrible at FIFA, Matt. If you're not the favorites, you're the underdogs factually. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to run this underdog narrative until I'm going to use it like a bar of soap. Like, until I am so far ahead of everyone else, I'm the underdog. And no one can convince me otherwise. Like, that's just how I'm going to roll with it this season. I'm fully running the underdog narrative, you know? So, yeah, that's my perspective, Aiden. Big up my guy, Tariq Rashid, who says, big up, lads. Kelleher is being assaulted. He needs to be saved. I was watching the game in the background, and not one goal was his fault. I'm not even trying to be biased. I'm not even trying to say any of that shit. They had a player sent off, and then it was England annihilation after that, to be honest with you. So, yeah, big up to you, my guy, Tariq. Big up to you, Habibi. Listen, big up every single super chatter. Big up everyone who's shown us love. This has been a very enjoyable show. A guy earlier on said this was like the best Liverpool panel show he watched in a while. And the reason why it is the best Liverpool panel show you've watched in a while is because of the panel. It's because of these incredible people. So please go show support to all of them. Go subscribe to Jamie Phillips' channel, Jamie Phillips Football Chat. It's in the description. Go subscribe to him. Go subscribe to Endz Football with Endz in the description. Go subscribe to GTV. It's in the description. The Jerry James Show. And Mike Das LFC as well. All of these guys' channels are in the description. Make sure you guys are slapping the like button on your way out. Make sure you guys are subscribing. This stream is going to take you over to Footy Judge Mo, who's doing an Italy-France watch along. And how can we piss off Mo? Spam his chat with the France flags. Just to piss him the F off. Just so he can get annoyed. You get me? That little Italian fraud. So spam his chat with the French flags. I'm going to be back at 10 p.m. inshallah for Ahwa later. And yeah, that's it for the day. Love you all and see you guys later, man.
Peace.
Peace.